Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Kabir Considers. In this video, we're going to react to the top 10 movie casts that hated one of their co-stars. It's bound to happen. Like, you know, all of us have been in a job where there's been somebody that we just didn't really get along with. It happens all the time. So, of course, it's going to happen in like movie crews as well. Even though they're being paid lots of money to be professionals, like if somebody's just a nightmare to work with, they're always late, they're forgetting their lines all the time, there's tons of reasons why you just be like, ugh.
But he was completely a directorial, school by fire.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking
Who's
at
he
movie
talking
casts who
about?
could collectively agree that one particular co-star was the worst.
I would have called my husband. I would say, listen, you got to take care of Jared Leto. You know, just be between me and you.
Jared Leto.
Number 10, Wesley Snipes, Blade Trinity. This
yeah, I've
threequel's
heard about
dip in
this.
quality mirrors its production issues with star Wesley Snipes at the center. Patton Oswalt called Snipes crazy in a hilarious way, claiming he spent most days smoking weed in his trailer, refused to break character, and strangled director David Goyer.
Wall of pot stench would just like, whoa, and like kind of push you to the side, and then he would only answer to the name Blade.
Where Oswalt found humor in Snipes' alleged behavior, Jessica Biel thought the Blade actor was a little unnerving. Snipes also reportedly referred to Ryan Reynolds as a cracker. According to Oswalt, the filmmakers intentionally gave Reynolds the worst jokes and puns, so they could cut to Wesley's face not doing anything, because that's all they could get from him.
All the vampires go bye-bye. So, can we just go right ahead and sign you up for one of our secret Night Stalker Dakota rings?
Everyone was
Why was he so difficult?
seemingly unified in making fun of Snipes, who reconciled with Reynolds 20 years later in Deadpool and Wolverine.
I want to talk to you. And I was like, I hate this guy. No, this is a joke. We've been playing this for like 2 decades. We've actually liked each other the whole time.
Number 9,
Oh, Wesley. Like, to be honest, nothing he does can... Blade is like one of my favorite comic book movies. Such a good movie. I reacted to it, by the way.
Christian Bale, American Psycho. Christian Bale is another actor known for going method. While this has resulted in some great performances, you can imagine how stressful this might be for Bale's co-stars, especially when playing a serial killer like Patrick Bateman.
I'm very sorry, sir.
J&B straight and a Corona.
Would you like to hear the...
Double absolute martini.
Yes, sir. Would you like to hear the specials?
Not if you want to keep your spleen.
While Bale didn't go too far, Chloe 70 found it difficult to socialize with him, saying, "Working with Christian was pretty hard because I didn't know this whole method thing."
I think if you stay, something bad will happen. I think I might hurt you.
Years later, when they re-teamed on Ford vs. Ferrari, Josh Lucas told Bale all of the other actors thought that he was the worst actor they'd ever seen during the production of American Psycho. Lucas
The worst? Oh, come on. He's a great actor. He might be nuts, but he's a great actor.
changed his tune after seeing Bale's performance in the finished film. Even so, Bale was in the dark about how his co-stars felt.
And we could not get through the scene at all because the crew was busting up, I was busting up. It's a funny movie if you're a sick bastard like I am.
Number 8, Richard Pryor, Blue Collar. There's no
Man, I can't believe some of Christian Bale's cast members thought he was the worst actor they've ever acted with. That's just insane.
denying that Richard Pryor was a one-of-a-kind talent. With a history of heavy substance use, though, he wasn't always the easiest person to work with. This was apparent on the set of Blue Collar.
God knows I tried, man.
While there were tensions across the ensemble, Pryor was arguably the main source of conflict. Pryor reportedly didn't get along with Yaphet Kotto or Harvey Keitel, constantly arguing with them. Matters grew especially aggressive between Pryor and Keitel, who threw an ashtray's contents at the camera in response to his co-star's prolonged ad-libs.
Don't you aim at all?
What the hell are you talking about? That has a little curve to it. I'm just setting them up for the bet.
He looks so different without the mustache, doesn't he?
Technique. It's called radar.
In retaliation, Pryor had his bodyguard beat Keitel. Pryor also allegedly attacked Kotto with a chair. The animosity extended to director Paul Schrader, who accused Pryor of pulling a gun on him.
It's all right. Let me talk to the new steward. Yeah, let him talk to me. Tell me about how you like the working man.
Number 7, Shia LaBeouf, Fury. The real battle in this World War II film was between Shia LaBeouf and his fellow actors. No stranger to erratic behavior, LaBeouf got into character by having a tooth removed and giving himself scars.
What? He actually had a tooth taken out, for real? I mean, dude, come on. It's just a movie. Like, come on.
I'll sing it if you don't do that. You just touch your mustache. Don't touch your mustache. Brady. Why does that bother you so much? Fool, I'll shoot you. I'll shoot you, I swear.
LaBeouf also stopped bathing, much to the annoyance of Logan Lerman, Jason Isaacs, and Brad Pitt. The young actor was reportedly sent to a bed and breakfast to distance himself from the rest of the cast. There were also fistfights during production, although LaBeouf says this was part of a bonding experience suggested by director David Ayer.
It's a hard environment, you know, it's a hard environment, but you learn to love each other to the point where you don't want to go nowhere. You know, none of us wanted to leave the tank.
LaBeouf claims tensions de-escalated as the shoot wrapped, and his co-stars all love each other. According to a source, though, several people on set spoke out against LaBeouf, including Pitt and Ayer.
When you put a bunch of guys in extreme circumstances like that, and everyone's trying to make the best movie possible, you know, and there's a bunch of testosterone, there's gonna be, you know, some clashing of the heads.
Number 6.
I feel like some of these actors forget that it's just a movie, guys. It's just a movie. Like, I know that they want to do the best job they can, but to stop bathing for weeks on end, could you work with somebody that hadn't bathed in weeks? It would stink. It would be awful.
Steven Seagal, out for justice. Few actors have a worse reputation than Steven Seagal. It's safe to say he didn't make many friends during the production of this action thriller.
Because those bullets could have saved you a lot of pain. I like pain, you know.
Seagal supposedly had co-star William Forsythe's screen time reduced, fearing he was better than him. Despite this, Forsythe said, "A part of me that really liked Seagal, but then there's that other side." Juliana Margulies was less forgiving, finding Seagal so scary that she didn't want to be alone in the same room with him.
And I figured if I just survived in a hotel room with an action star and a gun without getting hurt, I could take a subway ride home and pay off my credit card. So that's what I did.
No cast member grew to hate Seagal more than an up-and-coming John Leguizamo, who later worked with him again in Executive Decision, where a physical altercation broke out. Leguizamo has since repeatedly made fun of Seagal, even basing his character from The Menu on him.
All right, it's Steven Seagal, who I base it on. Well, he's a bully, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah, fair enough.
He's getting older, so if he catches me on a red carpet, I'll be able to run away.
Take him?
Number 5, Jared Leto.
Steven Seagal is a very odd actor, isn't he? Like, he's based his whole thing about being a kung fu master, but he's not really. Like, it's just really weird, isn't it?
Suicide Squad. Jared Leto's turn as the Joker received more attention for his off-screen behavior. Leto allegedly sent the cast an assortment of disturbing gifts, including used condoms, sex toys, and a dead pig.
Weird things. I can't even begin to tell you the weird things I got.
Some cast members tried putting a smile on Leto's methods. Margot Robbie was initially disgusted by the live rat Leto gifted her, although she wound up keeping it as a pet. Others struggled to see the joke. Viola Davis called Leto's gifts horrific, saying that he did some bad things.
I almost had like my pepper spray out, you know?
Well, you're bad from Law and Order.
Yeah, you remember that bullet you sent me?
Adewale Akinoye Agbaje found Leto's actions downright selfish, not wanting his dirty leftovers.
Don't send me your dirty leftovers. That just isn't right. You see why you ain't part of the squad,
That's
right?
what you're upset about, not the actual gift, just that you weren't invited to the party.
No, you can see why you ain't part of the squad, right? That's
disgusting, though. Come on, man. A used Johnny, as we call it here. Ugh.
Downright selfish.
In response to online backlash, Leto said, "If I do something risky and you don't like it, basically, you can kiss my ass." Try telling that to your co-stars, Mr. J.
I mean, the Joker is somebody who doesn't really respect things like personal space or boundaries.
Number 4, Val Kilmer, The Island of Dr. Moreau. This production nightmare faced numerous obstacles, including an unpredictable Marlon Brando.
Look at yourself.
I understand that I must be shocking to you.
Val Kilmer was perhaps the most antagonistic figure, however. Brought on board as a substitute for Bruce Willis, Kilmer refused to work the required number of days, resulting in him being designated to a supporting role. When Kilmer showed up on set reportedly 2 days late, he brought a hostile attitude with him. Supposedly, this was because Kilmer's marriage to Joanne Whalley was ending.
No. I give all my gifts to feed the poor. And though I give my body to be burned.
In any case,
mate, this movie looks so odd. Have you seen it? Like, is it as bad as it looks?
Kilmer added toxicity to an already uneasy environment, giving actor Rob Morrow another reason to quit. Although director Richard Stanley was replaced with John Frankenheimer, this did little to calm Kilmer. In addition to allegedly feuding with Brando, Kilmer was accused of generally being a prep school jerk.
Val was smoking a cigarette, and he goes,
and he starts to burn the ends of this guy's hair
Whoa.
during the take.
Number 3, Marlon Brando.
Come on, that's just way over the line. I mean, what?
Mutiny on the Bounty. Dr. Moreau was far from the first production that Brando made difficult. 1962's Mutiny on the Bounty was not only one of the most expensive films at the time, but also one of the biggest flops. Much of the blame went to Brando, who was accused of being controlling, tardy, and uncooperative.
It's the privilege of every captain to decide when an emergency warrants the reduction of water rations. Who can deny there was an emergency?
Aside from clashing with director Louis Milestone, Brando didn't get along with his co-stars. Trevor Howard called Brando unprofessional and completely ridiculous, while Richard Harris described him as a large, dreadful nightmare.
In some strange way, he either didn't want to because of his method upbringing, everything should be real, his lines, or else he actually couldn't remember.
That's the original Dumbledore actor, isn't it? Yeah, the one that was in the first 2 movies. I think he passed away, didn't he?
But he couldn't remember lines.
Shooting one scene, Harris walked off the set and shouted to Brando, "When you're ready to work, call me." Milestone would describe the production as the mutiny of Marlon Brando.
What he would do is he'd do a scene with you, and he'd have, like, that's the camera there, say here, and he would have beside the camera a big board, and the lines would be on the board, you see.
Following its failure, Hollywood and Brando's career took significant turns. Number 2, Shawn Andrews. Dazed and Confused. This hangout comedy launched several careers, most notably Matthew McConaughey's.
I get older, they stay the same age.
In a way, McConaughey has Shawn Andrews to thank. Initially, Andrews' Kevin Pickford was going to have a more prominent part. Director Richard Linklater could tell that the other actors weren't responding to Andrews, however. Linklater even broke up a fight between Andrews and Jason London. As such, Linklater reduced Andrews' role and gave McConaughey more screen time. The only cast member Andrews gelled with was Mila Jovovich, who also had her role downsized.
You guys know what that song's about? It's about aliens. We're the aliens, man. We're the savages.
Jovovich and Andrews got hitched behind the scenes, although the marriage was annulled after 2 months.
It's kind of a little...
2 months? Oh my God. 2 months? Jeez. I mean, at least give it a try, guys.
So hard for me to remember things from Dazed and Confused because we were all, like, seriously a little dazed and confused while filming it.
The cast otherwise found Andrews cocky as he built himself up as the next Marlon Brando. Well, Andrews and Brando have one thing in common.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest
What do they have in common?
videos.
Oh, they're both on this list.
You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Lawrence Tierney. Reservoir Dogs. Given this veteran character actor's background playing tough guys, Quentin Tarantino cast him as crime boss Joe Cabot in his debut film.
How about if I'm Mr. Purple? I mean, that sounds good to me. I'll be Mr.
You're Mr.
Purple.
Pink.
You're not Mr. Purple.
You're Mr. Pink.
Some guy on some other job is Mr. Purple. You're Mr. Pink.
It soon occurred to Tarantino that Tierney was, in his words, a complete lunatic. Tarantino thus decided to shoot Tierney's scenes first. During production, Tierney was arrested for drunkenly shooting his nephew at home, although he was released to complete filming. Tarantino told The Guardian, "By the end of the week, everybody on set hated Tierney. It wasn't just me."
He also had this thing where you'd be trying to talk to him. Okay, so Lawrence, and then all of a sudden he would just start walking away.
Wow.
All right in the middle of your talk.
Walking away mid...
This hectic week culminated in a fight between the actor and director, driving Tarantino to fire Tierney. In response, the whole set applauded Tarantino.
The crew breaks out into applause.
While Tarantino ultimately got the scenes he needed from Tierney, they never collaborated again.
Kid, how about you? Me and you, we're gonna go out and we're gonna drink. We'll put this all behind us, you know? And I go, no, yeah, I don't really feel like going out and drinking.
Can you think of any actors who are infamously difficult to work with? Let us know in the comments.
I then made another strategic error. I met Val Kilmer.
Did you enjoy this video?
It's just crazy to me that, you know, they can't be professional. Just don't be late. Don't be an a-hole to work with. Learn your lines. That's pretty much it. Like, you're paid like so much more than the average worker. You know, just do the job you're paid to do. And the ones like, you know, Shia LaBeouf, who, I'm sorry, like, not showering, you're going to be around other people, especially that movie Fury, which I've reacted to. They're in a tank for a long time. So you're in this tiny space. Imagine being in a tiny space with someone who's not bathed in weeks. The smell, it would be absolutely unreal. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoy my videos, please help me out by liking and subscribing.